Our next speaker is Secretary William Dar of the Department of Agriculture. And Secretary William has also had the time of his life keeping agriculture, or agribusiness and food security on track for Filipinos. And I know he has many different programs and initiatives that are just underway. So we're looking forward to an update about all that he is working on. So please welcome Secretary William Dar, a good friend and a heck of a nice fella. Welcome, Secretary William.
Thank you again, Mr. Richard Mills, for this opportunity to give my thoughts in regard to the issues at hand and through the forum, Asia CEO Forum. Good day, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here to share with you updates from the agri-fishery sector. At the Department of Agriculture, we are looking at making 2021 a year of redemption to the agri-fishery sector as we target a growth of 2.5% by the end of the year. And we are confident in achieving this. One reason for this is that despite the tumultuous 2020, the agri-sector only dipped by 0.02%. And now, as we intensify our efforts, coupled with the economy gradually opening up, which means an easing of whatever supply chain restrictions that remain, at 2.5% growth this year is not far from the horizon. For this year, issues on the African swine fever and stabilizing food prices very much remain to be the real problems that we have been dealing with by means of various strategies since 2020, and we are committed to ending the problem this year. On ASF, we have since expanded our support for local producers. One, by providing support in the shipment of live pigs and whole carcasses. The DA is providing a reimbursement of 21 pesos per kilo in shipments across Mindanao, 15 pesos per kilo in Visayas, Ilocos Region, Cagayan Valley, Mimarupa, and Bicol, and 10 peso per kilo in Central Luzon and in Calabarzon. We have also increased our indemnification fund to 10,000 pesos per head from 5,000 pesos, benefiting greater those whose hogs are culled from the African swine fever culling operations. Moreover, we are relaxing requirements to claim eligibility under this program, and we are closely working with relevant government agencies to be able to ensure the timely disbursement of this aid. We have also launched the National Repopulation and Recovery Program for the hog industry, along with the Bantay ASF sa Barangay program that is allocated with a combined public and private investments of 29.6 billion pesos. The twin programs are aimed at effectively controlling the African swine fever and reviving the dampened swine industry. This repopulation program includes a financing program with an initial budget of 500 million pesos for backyard hog raisers, another 27 billion for financing commercial hog raisers. We will be offering the 500 million loan program for backyard hog raisers zero interest loans payable in 3 to 5 years. Add to this the assurance of indemnification pay. We can encourage backyard and semi-commercial raisers in ASF-free areas and green zones to go back to the business of swine fattening and piglet production. Moreover, the Filipino-made ASF test kits are expected to be rolled out commercially in the next few months. These kits will enable us to more swiftly and more properly implement our containment efforts. Meanwhile, high pork and chicken prices have been successfully tempered with the effective implementation of the price caps in Metro Manila, which we have recommended to the President. For this, we would like to thank the private sector and the other stakeholders in the two industries for their cooperation in helping us ensure accessible and affordable food for consumers. For this year, we are guided by a new and more comprehensive strategy, which we are confident will ensure adequate food supply throughout the year and profitable opportunities for our farmers and fisher folks. Under the 1DA agenda, as we call it, we will be doubling down on various aspects in the sector to address short-term supply issues and threats, while at the same time building the fundamentals that will help us achieve a food-secure Philippines with globally competitive farms in the long run. One effort under the agenda is clustering small parcels of farms into larger scale farms. This will allow better management, more organized and streamlined distribution of resources and allocation of support from farm inputs to technical assistance. We are also encouraging each province to explore the most commercially viable commodity they can produce and sell, not only in local markets, but in foreign markets as well. This will allow the concentration of resources on proven high-income generating products and give provinces the opportunity to gain popularity for producing that certain crop in high quality. We will also establish more agri-industrial business corridors, or ABCs, in economically strategic locations. ABCs will attract investors and locators to develop and gain from their business while promoting a prosperous community of farmer cooperative associations and other stakeholders in the business corridor. We have started efforts in establishing the first agro-industrial hub in Subic-Clark Economic Corridor, and we hope to position the Taguig Food Terminal with the same prominence. We will invest in infrastructure, namely farm-to-market roads, trading centers, fish ports, as well as post-harvest processing and cold chain facilities. Moreover, we will ensure that they will be put to optimum utilization and not drain public funds to waste by ensuring that their design and establishment factor in the key markets and sectors they are to serve. Under our 1DA agenda, we will also invest in increasing non-planting activities such as post-harvest and processing, logistics, and marketing, which are equally important in ensuring the unimpeded flow of food. The importance of scaling up capacity in these activities was highlighted especially during the strict quarantine last year, when swift action from the DA and other government agencies were critical in bringing adequate food supply to consumers and ensuring farmers have incomes. We are also taking a more proactive approach in providing stakeholder support in production and supply monitoring by organizing our production data and delivering this to stakeholders in a timely manner. We can help them avoid oversupply, post-harvest wastage, and depressed farm gate prices, all of which spiral into bigger problems such as food shortage and price spike. We are also intensifying efforts to urge farmers and fisher folks to take advantage of government's assistance, such as cash, subsidized credit, and crop insurance subsidized. Support like this will help reinvigorate investments in the sector, from production to non-farm agribusiness endeavors. We at the DA are also making significant strides toward the Agriculture 4.0, which will pave the way for our envisioned modernized Philippine agriculture. We continue to roll out high-quality hybrid seeds, distribute drones that allow better management, and even expand the presence of our eKadiwa, our online food-to-market program, which has massively helped in ensuring food supply in various localities during the quarantine. We will invest and deploy more resources in exploring and adapting technologies, both traditional ones and frontier technologies, to support our goal of higher productivity and efficiency. More importantly, we continue in our efforts of building a climate-resilient agriculture. While we at the DA have been facing a myriad problems that require our immediate attention, we have never lost sight in transforming the sector to be environmentally sustainable and resilient to climate disasters, which have always stunted the sector's growth. We continue to widen the impact of our adaptation and mitigation initiative in agriculture, or AMIA program, through which we empower communities to farm sustainably. We also continue to promote the use of climate risk vulnerability assessment tools, which help investors design strategies that already factor in environmental risk and adopt technologies that to manage this risk. We are also streamlining our services and processes to ensure that no action is delayed, especially if such action is of urgent nature and concerns our stakeholders. We continue to ensure that we provide maximum ease in doing business in order for stakeholders not to be disincentivized by red tapes. Moreover, we are beefing up our awareness and education campaign in order for more farmers and fisher folks to benefit from our programs and projects. Through expanding our reach, we are also driving inclusive growth. Lastly, as our One DA agenda suggests, from its name, we are building stronger collaborations with government agencies and private stakeholders, academia, farmers and fisher folks, and even the youth. Because if there's one important thing we learned during the pandemic, it is working in coordination with other groups in society. Thank you very much, and a wonderful day to all of us. God bless us all.
Yes, very good, Secretary. I thought you gave as an in-depth story as you can in in an online program. Secretary, a lot of questions are asked about food security. Certainly, as during the middle of the crisis, this is one further thing we don't want to have to worry about. What is the situation on food security in the Philippines, in your opinion?
Thank you, Richard. Yes, Philippine food security, in brief, could be characterized as it's a challenging year again for the Philippines to ensure food security for every Filipino. So what we are doing is to really elevate the levels of food production in most of the commodity industries that we have, so that whatever will be lacking or the deficiency levels will be sourced from the outside. You know pretty well that even presently the country is a food importing country because we don't produce yet 100% much of the food requirements in the Philippines. So ensuring food security requires three to four areas of sourcing your food. Number one, again, is to really elevate local food production. That's foremost our long-term strategy, and it has to be started with more investments, more budgetary support, and harnessing the power of science and technology to prop up productivity. The second part would be to, if you can mobilize from, there will be some deficiencies in one area, but surpluses in another area. So the strategy is to see to it that we mobilize food from surplus areas and to be marketed in the deficit areas or provinces. The third one is what we call food diversification in many ways. For example, pork today. There are many protein sources, not only pork. Yeah. Like, of course, you have chicken, you have fish, like tilapia and bangus, and even vegetable legumes. So food diversity is also part of the strategy of ensuring food security. And the last resort is always supply augmentation from other countries by importation. So again, this should be how we should be tackling this goal of ensuring food security for the country.
And maybe a last question, Secretary. Whenever I speak to economists, people like Bernie Villegas over, they always point to the agriculture sector as key to the Philippine economy. Can you explain why they always say that for people and me?
Yes, I always believe that food is inelastic. I mean, every Filipino eats food, eats rice, eats fish, eats meat, So the demand is inelastic. And at this point in time of the COVID-19 pandemic, this food industry will always be needed, will always survive. And that's the reason why many of the economists would tell that this is one pillar of the economy that must be supported strongly so that we can even unlock the potential of this sector, not only contributing 9% to the gross domestic product of the country, but higher level. So there are many employment opportunities created. 1/3 of the jobs are in agriculture. So if we sustain that, the various agricultural enterprises, then more and more of the people will get opportunity to get employed as well. So we have to generate more from also doing this export-orientedness, because there are things, there are commodity industries that we can produce enough as well, so that the surplus production properly planned must have to go to export markets. So yes, agribusiness is one major strategy to unlock the potential of the sector. You can encourage the younger generation to come and see to it that, yes, they will be able to contribute their talents, their expertise this early. We have a younger population now in the country as compared to other countries in the world. So we need to tap the power of the younger generations. Their minds are, I mean, they have all good ideas. If these are properly, skewed or diverted towards agriculture, then we can see the explosion in terms of the food production that we can possibly have in this country.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Secretary. Very nice to see you, and please keep up the great work you are doing, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much again, Richard, and the rest of the team. May God continue to bless us all. Marami pong salamat.